Hi, I'm Eric Trudler. I'm a neuroscientist at the University of Washington. And today I have Samantha Sun, who's a graduate student. Welcome, Samantha.
Thank you, Eric.
Samantha, you're a graduate student now. What department are you associated with?
Yeah, I am in the Department of Bioengineering at the University of Washington.
And what year are you in graduate school now?
I am a third year PhD student.
Third year. So you've taken your generals now, or what stage are you at?
Yeah, so for bioengineering, there's a three-step process. You take your qualifying exam usually by the end of your second year, and then I am in the process of preparing for my general exam, which usually is taken year three or year four.
I see. You were also an undergraduate student at the University of Washington, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And were you also in the bioengineering department then?
Yeah, I was also in BioE. I was in a different research lab. My research there was more on brain imaging tools, and now my current research is more on computational neuroscience and data analysis for brains.
Tell me a little bit about the research you're doing now. Whose lab are you in, and what type of research are you doing?
Yeah, so I am in the grid lab. The PIs are Dr. Ojaman and Dr. Rao, and currently I'm working on brain-computer interface research. So basically, I'm trying to take signals from the brain and translate them into something that's more usable, such as moving a prosthetic arm. So ideally, we'd be able to decode the signals from the brain and have someone move a prosthetic arm just by thinking about it. Specifically, my research is trying to see if we can provide feedback where if someone is using a prosthetic arm and the arm is touching something, I want them to also kind of feel what the prosthetic arm is feeling. So for that, we try to use electrical stimulation for the brain to provide that feedback and see if we can close that loop.
I see. It seems like I know that Dr. Ojaman is a neurosurgeon, and Dr. Rao is in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and you are in the Department of Bioengineering. So it seems like there's so many different disciplines that are having something to say about your research.
Definitely. I feel like neural engineering is such a collaborative and interdisciplinary field. It's really great how we get different perspectives coming in and just collaborating, sharing ideas, and trying to improve research.
So speaking of neural engineering, you're also involved with the Student Leadership Council at the Center for Neurotechnology, right?
Yeah, we have seminar events, and usually we're just trying to connect students with opportunities to learn more about neural engineering, either through outreach, education, meeting with industry partners. It's a really fun group of people to be with.
Tell me a little bit more about the outreach that you do.
Yeah, so, oh man, I'll have to think about that for a second. Recently, we collaborated with the Pacific Science Center. That's a local science center in Seattle, and we collected a bunch of questions about the brain from local elementary schools. And as like a graduate student panel, we kind of put our brains together to answer these brain questions and made short video clips just answering them. And this was part of a field trip event for the Pacific Science Center. Um, Other things, we're preparing an outreach event where we're encouraging people to make short clips about their research and try to explain it at different levels of complexity. There's a YouTube series that does that, and we're trying to kind of mimic that, but just in terms of neuroscience.
And you also participated in the Brain Awareness Week open house we had at the University of Washington too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was fun.
When you're not doing research and when you're not working on the outreach activities for the Student Leadership Council, how do you spend your free time?
Yeah, so I'm a photographer. I'll photograph engagements, weddings, those are lots of fun. I also really like hiking, and since I live in the Pacific Northwest, it's really nice. I'll go on hikes and bring my camera, so I get to have both those hobbies at the same time.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Samantha. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Eric.